Hey y'all. Well, it's Friday, January 23rd. We are preparing for the storm. This is the calm before the storm, or so they say. What started out as 1 to 22 inches of snow over this week is now 1 to 2 inches of ice. And I'm not even sure if we're going to get any snow. So we were all super excited about the snow, and we got ourselves hyped up for it, and now it looks like we're not going to get any snow. We're probably going to get, if it is, it's just going to be a little bit of dusting, a skiff as we call it, and the rest of it's going to be ice. So when they started talking about ice, everybody started really getting prepared, and we are they. So we look, I had already got the sled out. I was ready for that. I don't guess we're gonna need it now. So we did, however, a couple of weeks ago, before they even started talking about this, we had went ahead and got some wood cut. And oh look, that's ice in our, we just got our wood on this trailer. We got it covered up and there's ice on it. So we've got to get this in tonight. We have to cut our wood really small because we have a wood cook stove. And so we can't do the big, like, I don't know what the standard is, 10 to 12 inches of wood. So we have to cut them extremely small. But we finally got our big gas propane thing instead of these two tiny ones here. And we did get a generator. It was a struggle. I had already gave up. I had called two Tractor Supplies in the area, two Lowe's in the area. I had called Home Depot. I had called the little mom and pop's places, and it's like, listen, you might as well give it up. When I called Rural King, and when I called Rural King, the woman answers the phone, and she's like, I promise you, y'all, she's like, we have no ice melt, we have no sleds, we have no thermals, we have no generators, we have no extension cords. How can I help you? And I'm like, you just did, thank you. And I understand their frustration, but then at the end of the day yesterday, I was talking to my boss man. He had got him a generator not long ago in fact, it was this past week. He had got one at Lowe's, and I guess it was before everybody, come in wanting to buy them. And I told him, he said, Lisa, he said, you better make sure that you got heat. You better make sure, that you're took care of, because we might be in for a few days of, stuck at home. And I said, well, we've got gas heat and we've got the wood stove, but I don't have a generator. And he says, let me make a phone call. Well, he happened to be talking to he happened to call his son, because his son had a generator that he was going to raffle off. And he already had. So then he tells his daddy, he says, you know what? I'm at Lowe's right now. And Lowe's had went and got a pallet with 20 of them, 20 generators, and they were going back to get 5 more. He said, I'm going to stand right here and you tell her to call, because he's a contractor. My boss's son is a contractor, so he knows them real good and everything. And he said, I'm going to stand right here and you tell her to call, and we will get her a generator if they haven't been spoke for yet. And sure enough, they hadn't. So I said, yeah, go ahead and put me on the list for it, and went ahead and, did my payment and everything. And so they called me back about 3:30 yesterday. That's about what time they were supposed to be in. And it wasn't the generator that they had initially said it was going to be. It turned out to be another brand. And he's like, do you still want it? And I said, well, yeah. And, I kind of feel bad because a lot of times I think, is there somebody out there that probably needs it worse than me? But I do have my son and his wife and his kids coming over too, and one of them's a baby. So, I know we would probably all stay warm, but we have a baby in the house, and all of them have had the flu. A couple of them have had the flu twice and a respiratory issue. So, we want to make sure that everybody's okay and warm and safe. And it's been a lot, and it's a lot left to do. So listen, if you don't have a generator, call your Lowe's, call your Home Depot, ask them, hey, are y'all getting any more? Or you've still got time, because this storm is not going to start for probably another 24 hours at least. So, from my understanding, they're doing trips every day, going back and forth to pick these generators up so that people will have what they need. And while I'm on the subject, another thing is, please, if you have any elderly or disabled neighbors, family, try to get them with you if you know you're going to have a heat source. Try to get them with you if you know you're going to have food and they may not. Because there's so many people out there who are elderly, they're on fixed incomes, they're by themselves, they may not have family. Their kids or grandkids, whatever, brothers, sisters, may live a long way away. They may not have the means to be able to get what they need. So please, if you know of anybody that needs it, sometimes it's an imposition, but a life-saving imposition on somebody. So, I'm worried myself. I've got an elderly mama and daddy, 83 and 88 years old, and it's so strange because I can call them and I'll say, hey, have y'all got your wood? Do you need me to come down and help you get some wood in? Do you have food? And they're like, we got what we need. We've been living all these years. And I mean, they're not mean about it, but they're firm about it. Like, don't worry about us. We're good. But then my their grandkids, my kids, I kind of talked my daughter into call them, Charity. I got her to call them and say, hey, are y'all good? Do you need anything? And they're like, we're fine. We don't need nothing. If we need something, we'll call. But thank you for asking. They didn't do that to me. So anyway, just, please check on everybody. Let's all get through this together. Just the thought of some of the things that could happen if people don't have who they need to help them or what they need to help them, just really, it upsets me. So let's all get through this. And maybe it won't be as bad as we're thinking. I pray that it's not. So anyway, if we get the storm, I will be doing some videos. If we don't have power, I won't be able to upload any videos, even if we have the generator going, I'm sure. So y'all stay safe, stay careful, and we'll see you in the next day or two. We're praying for y'all. Bye.